name is Krishna Kumar. I'm an actor, director and scriptwriter. I'm also the artistic director of the Little Theatre. I've been into the profession for about 8 years now. I decided to quit college and get into acting. I realized that that's really what I wanted to do. So when I actually decided to quit college, it was, my parents were shocked. It was not something that people did back in the day, at least 8 years ago. It was not normal to quit college. And I did throw away a massive scholarship that I had in America, and I came down to Chennai to become an actor. One of the biggest challenges in Chennai was that you had no mentorship when you wanted to become an actor. You don't know where to start. And so I started off by doing a portfolio and all of that, but a proper starting point was still, missing. And that's when I found theatre. I started off as an actor 7 years ago with the Little Theatre with their Christmas pantomimes. And last year I directed their recent Christmas pantomime. It was called The Lord of the Bling. We had an audience of about 5,000, very loyal Chennai audience that turn up every year. So it was fantastic. So when I came down from the US, I was looking for an avenue to learn my craft as an actor. My final goal was to be in cinema. But that journey took me to theatre because I was looking for mentorship and I found that in theatre. Now, when I did theatre, for me that was a separate art form by itself, and it stopped being a stepping stone to cinema. It for me was an exploration of a new form of art which I really enjoyed. So when I was doing theatre, I also discovered that there were so many things that I wanted to do in it, but I was restricted by a certain form that was already existing in Chennai. So to do that, I decided I'm going to travel to Australia to learn, to have a different perspective. So there I learned martial arts. I picked that up. That's one of the reasons I learned martial arts, was to introduce movement into theatre. I felt that our theatre was a lot of stand and talk. Was a lot of, it was very derived. It was very, I'm not against the idea of using Shakespeare and that sort of English drama into theatre, but for me that wasn't us. It was very derived. It wasn't exactly people from Chennai. It wasn't real language. It wasn't the way we're speaking now. So we discovered this new way of doing this, which was essentially taking real language, real experiences, and putting all of them together. So I would have essentially my original experiences as a director, and I would take from all of these actors their original experiences and their pattern of speech and their real language and all of that. And we trained a lot in terms of getting our body language and our physical attributes right for the show. And we would have really cool looking stunts and fight scenes that you could compare to anything you see on film. We put all of this together and we created this really unique, original form. And we thought that no one else is doing this in Chennai, and we needed to introduce this to Chennai audience. So what we did was, we created a group called KickAss. And we did things that the audience wouldn't know if this was real or if it was a performance. And we sort of found a way to kind of introduce this to the audience. So it's done in a way wherein people come in, sit down, and they don't even know if the play has started or if it's an act or if it's something that's actually happening in real life. So that's another thing that we really enjoyed, and yeah, that's how KickAss started. I started with the Little Theatre, as I said, and Little Theatre had a certain format to it. They did musicals. I did the Christmas pantomimes, which was essentially a great place for me to experiment, because the pantomime had almost no rules. Within its structure, it had no rules. I could introduce real language. I could introduce a bit of Tamil into it. I could introduce fight scenes into it. And it was the perfect place for me to experiment my idea, because I also had about 20 other actors who were essentially from colleges and different walks of life coming in. So I got all these original content from them and create something that the city really, really enjoyed. That was a great experimental place for me. So I built up a large fan following in the city because we have about 5,000 in the audience every single year. So as an actor and then as a director, I had my time to build up that fan base in the city. And when they came forward to witness what we did with KickAss, they were absolutely blown away, or rather they felt like this is what they wanted and expected to see, something unique, and they got it, and they absolutely loved it. And I think the Chennai audience constantly deserves something that is new and evolved, and they lap it up. They love it, and Chennai is a city that actually appreciates something that's unique, new, and entertaining.